Hey YouTube, in this deck profile I'm going to be doing a update on my Angel Feather deck. So I did build their Argodial deck first, but I just never liked the way it played. It's more about disrupting the opponent's field as opposed to your field and dealing with having face-up damage in their damage zone. But I prefer the original style, which is the Celestial, or the first wave of support that Angel Feathers got. So I put this deck together. This deck is pretty hard to build, surprisingly. A lot of these EBO3 Angel Feather cards are really hard to find for some reason. So it took a while to actually build this deck. Up until now, I've been using the Argodial one for like the whole time, but now I put together this one, and this one's a lot more fun. This one actually reminds me of the way Angel Feathers is supposed to play, or the way I remember them playing. So let's get right into it. So to start off, we have 4 Solidify Celestial Zerakiel. So she's the main Vanguard. The backup is going to be Metatron. The nice thing about her is that her effect does work on the rearguard circle as well. And just like the old school Limit Break style, when she's in the damage zone, she does have additional effect. If your opponent's Vanguard is greater 3 or greater, you can put the top card of your deck into your damage zone, face down, and ride this card as stand. So you can superior ride this from the damage zone, which makes it pretty unique. But your opponent has to be a grade 3. So one thing about that does allow you to superior ride this if you go second. But at that point, I mean, the only advantage I can see at doing that is helping you get an extra grade 3 in the soul, or also just like if you were grade stuck, for instance, if you didn't have grade 3 in the hand and you went second. So there is that as well. Next we have Metatron, like I said. So 4 Crimson Impact Metatron. I'm just running these 2. I'm not running the Gundam looking guy. He was in my what is it, Argodial deck, but I took it out because I don't really see space for it in here. It's kind of like a finisher, kind of like Victorious Deer in OTT, but I don't know, playtesting the deck, I just feel like it's not really needed. The way this deck runs is you don't really need them. You can run them if you want at like 2 copies, but then you have to mess with the grade 3 ratio. I don't really like running more than 8 grade 3s in here. If you want to tech in 1, then that'd be fine. But as I'll show you with the rearguard lineup, the deck is pretty tight on space. So grade 3s is basically the Crimson Wing and the Celestial, the Blue Wing. So that's basically it, pretty straightforward so far. For grade 2s, we have 4 Rear Impetus Celestial Armadi, Armidi. So this guy is another really hard to find card. This whole deck was really hard for me to build, actually. Probably the most difficult deck that I built out of all these for someone going back into Vanguard after being out of the game for a while. So anyway, Vanguard Rearguard Circle effect. When placed from hand, you can Soul Blast, call a card from your damage zone, and put the top card of your damage zone into, or from the deck into the damage zone face down. So basically, classical Celestial style effect. One thing I will say about the deck is it is very Soul Blast heavy. Just as bad, almost as bad as the Argodial build, but probably a little bit better. It's still pretty Soul Blast heavy. Next, I'm running 4 Wild Shot Celestial Ragwell. All these Celestial cards were hard to find, now that I keep remembering like how I had to get these. But anyway, so this card, when placed from hand, this is only rearguard effect, whereas that guy was Vanguard rearguard effect. Placed from hand, if a new card was put in the damage zone this turn, you can counterblast 1, call a card from damage zone to R. So the nice thing about it is if you cycled damage in, you can activate its effect. That's the only condition about it. And then the other grade 2 I'm running is 4 Hygienist Angel. So this card was also at 4 in my Argodial deck. So I saw no reason to drop it to 3. I feel like at 4 it's still really good. Or it's kind of one of those where it's like a 7k. The fact that it's 7k doesn't really mean a whole lot. Basically, this is the main beater of the grade 2 lineup. For each damage zone, each damage you have, it gets 5k power. So at 5 damage, it's plus 25k. So it gets stronger as the game... It naturally becomes stronger as the game progresses. As you take more damage, this thing becomes more powerful. So it's Really good, actually. It actually reminds me of kind of like that one grade 2 in Anger Blader in Tachikaze. It's similar, like, to that type of card. That's the way I see it. So, really good beater card. I mean, there's not a whole lot of better options than this. And it's a common, so it's really easy to get. For grade 1s, Healthful Intended at 4. So this one is, out of all the new support that came out for Ergodial, this is the one card that I kept in the deck because it's pretty good turn 1 ride. It has, when rode upon, put it into the damage zone face down, and then call a card from the damage zone to R. So it has the ability to cycle cards that are in the damage zone to the field, which is pretty nice for Angel Feathers. And then if a new card was put in the damage zone, because that actually combos well with a lot of cards like this, for instance. And if a new card was put into the opponent's damage zone, this gains 5k power. So what that means is, like, if this is boosting a rear guard, or even the Vanguard, if it's a Vanguard and you swing with something first, like probably a weaker column that doesn't really matter, like this, for instance, and if they no guard it, I mean, they're just going to give this thing 5k power, so it'll make it harder for them to block the Vanguard line or even like the rear guard line. So this is actually pretty good behind this card for that reason. Next, 4 Underlay Celestial Hesidial. So this is your main grade 1 that's going to tutor or float cards out of the damage zone from your, like, exchanging cards from your hand into the damage zone and taking stuff you need from the damage zone to your hand. So it's going to help you get things like PGs that wind up in there, or main cards that you want to call the field, or like big beaters like this that end up on damage check. They end up in there. You can get them out that way. So really good card. So we run 4 of it. And then next I'm running 3 Marking Celestial Arabaki. So you could run 4 of this as well. It's the only reason why I'm running 3 and 4 of Hesidial instead of like the other way around is because Arabaki, you have to discard a card from your hand when you activate its effect, and sometimes I don't like having to do that. Basically what happens is when you place it from hand on rear guard, you discard a card from your hand, then you put a card from the damage zone into your hand, and you put the top card into the damage zone face down. So it allows you to trade a card from your hand to take a card from your damage zone. So it's good because it doesn't use Counterblast to activate, but you do have to give something up in your hand in exchange. So that's why we only run 3 of it. And then the last grade 1 is my tech choice. So I'm running 2 Scalpel Angel. This spot's pretty open. I mean, you could run a lot of different things. Basically, if your damage zone has 3 or more, this gets Intercept and 5k attack. So this could become a 15k Interceptor in the front row and a 13k attacker in the front row. So it can hit like a Force Vanguard. And as a Protect clan, that's pretty good. So it's a pretty decent choice, I would say. The 2 copies. And then the trigger lineup is pretty straightforward. So it's 4 no-seal, draw Sentinels, and 8 critical. So I'm running the Celestial, critical, and the classic critical hit Angel. So this used to be the Put in the Soul, gives us something 3k power. And then, of course, the best healer in the game, Sunny Smile Angel. This, back in G format, was like super OP when it had its effect back in the day. And then the starter is First Aid Celestial Peniel. So that's my Angel Feather deck. I realized now that I did not post my Ergodial deck, even though I had that one for a long time. I may post it in the future if I decide to build that one again, but for right now, I don't expect it. If you want to see it, leave a comment, let me know, and like the video. It helps me feel motivated to keep making these. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks.